Hi, my name is Jim Blythe. I'm a former marketing professor and I used to teach international business and I've written books on the subject. I'd like to explain how international trade works because we're hearing a lot of people saying that when the European Union give us money for projects and for our poorer areas, that it's actually our own money we're getting back. Well, in a sense that's true. However, if you understand international trade, you'll see that certainly is not the whole picture. We do, of course, when we trade internationally, pay tariffs on goods. If we sell goods to the United States or to China or to anywhere else in the world, duty is charged on those goods. So we, or the buyer, of course, pay for that duty. The amounts vary between 4%, anything up to 50%, and depending on the type of goods that are being sold. Additionally, we have what are called non-tariff barriers. These are things like customs declarations, customs forms, that kind of area. There are many types of non-tariff barrier. Now, the agreement we have with the EU is that we don't have those barriers. We have standardized technical standards. We don't pay any tariffs. It's as easy to sell goods in Milan as it is in Manchester. And that money goes to the EU, of course. Our membership fee is what covers those tariffs. So instead of paying tariffs on a one-to-one basis, effectively we have a season ticket. And the season ticket allows us to trade duty-free and barrier-free with the whole of the rest of the European Union. Now what the EU does with that money is they take some of it as an administration fee, which is reasonable, and they pay the rest of it out into various projects around the EU. So they support the arts and sciences, and they particularly support poorer regions of the European Union, like Wales, Cornwall, Hungary, the poorer countries, so that they can get rich and they can buy more stuff from us, so everybody makes money. Now, additional to this, we have the non-tariff barriers. Previous to 1992, which was the Big Bang year when the European Union got rid of all the non-tariff barriers, or nearly all of them, trucks frequently had to carry customs documentation for every country they travelled through. So a truck going from, say, Ireland to Italy might have to carry 5 or 6 different sets of customs documentation. And if any of those documents were filled in incorrectly or in any way didn't reflect what was on the truck, then the truck would be stopped at the border and sent back. Now this obviously is a major barrier to trade and reduces competition among companies and of course raises costs fairly dramatically. Another type of tariff barrier is technical standards. Within the EU we have a single system for setting technical standards, so that companies get economies of scale, which means that they have much bigger production runs. If they're producing a single product that sells to 500 million people, obviously that's a great deal cheaper than producing a single product that only goes to 60 million people. Additionally, we don't have the expense, or government doesn't have the expense, of operating our own technical standards system. The cost of analysing technical standards is shared, and the scientists and engineers and testers and so forth are drawn from all over the EU and they work within the technical standards system. The same is true of standards for medicine and so forth. Now some of these non-tariff barriers may not seem important, but they can often add a great deal more to the cost of goods and cause a great deal more disruption to trade than the tariff barriers. The purpose of being in the EU single market is to remove all those barriers, both the tariff barriers and the non-tariff barriers, so that trade becomes easier. And the easier trade becomes, the better off we will become. The more jobs we have, the more goods are available, the cheaper those goods are. And anybody going around any supermarket will see the wide range of products that we have available within our society. And this is clearly of benefit to everybody. So if somebody says to you, we're getting our own money back, well, theoretically, yes, but if we weren't paying the season ticket, we'd be paying the tariff barriers instead. We'd be paying the customs duty on those goods, and we wouldn't get that money back. That would then stay within the countries to which we are exporting. So Saying we're getting our own money back, that's a good thing. If we're not in the EU, we won't be getting the money back. Okay. The EU also has controls on unfair competition, so they prevent national governments from unfairly favouring their own companies. They prevent national governments from subsidising their own industries unfairly. Particularly this applies to nationalised industries. Governments are not allowed, for example, to subsidise their own airlines in order to outcompete independent airlines from other countries. So, when we look at the whole competition thing, it goes far beyond tariff barriers and it goes far beyond just money going in and money coming out. The benefits go well beyond that. I'm hoping as the weeks go by leading up to the election that I'll be able to offer a few more insights into how the European Union works. Thanks for listening. I'll keep it short every time. Bye.